Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode of the Bug Warrior. Today's video is for all players that are new to Path of Exile 2 and have no idea how to ascend to power and why it matters. In Path of Exile 2 Early Access we are presented with 6 character classes. Each one of those classes can be specialized into 2 types. This is known as Ascendancy options. In PoE 2 all your choices matter, and Ascendancy matters a lot because once you select your Ascendancy you can't change it. So my first word of advice would be that before you even attempt to ascend to power, please do some research and do your best to select what works best for you. For us beginners, it's really hard to do this. There is no clear path, so if you are like me, the choice will come down to doing some research on websites such as Mobalytics, also watching YouTube videos or live streams, but in the end it's like a leap of faith where you are just hoping for the best. Alright, so once you figure that out, next is to get to Act 2 and find and beat Balbala the Traitor. I already made a video about that, so I will link to it in the description, but the important thing here is that Balbala will give you a coin, which is basically a key, that allows you to access the trial of the Sekhemas. Travel to the trial of the Sekhemas and place the coin on the relic altar, which will bind Balbala to assist you through the challenges ahead. So here are the 6 tips you need to know in order to complete the trial of the Sekhemas. Tip number 1. The first thing you need to know is that if you die, you need to get a new coin and try again. This is the most important tip, of course, because those coins aren't easy to come by, so very important to stay alive. Tip number 2. If you run out of honor, it's the same as dying, and you will ask, like, what is honor? So honor is like this sort of like health bar, and basically every time you hit an enemy, your honor reduces. This mechanic means that you need to make every shot count. Depending on your build, sometimes it might be better to gather a group of enemies before engaging. If you lose all this honor, you need to get a new coin. Tip number 3. Be at least 8 levels above the levels requirement before trying. The trial of Sekhemas has a monster level 22, so if you are at least level 30, it will help tremendously as some parts of the trial are time-based. The higher your damage is, it will help you a lot because of the honor system. Tip number 4. Plan your path. During the trial, you'll be able to see 2 rooms ahead of you, including the afflictions or debuffs that each room leaves on your character for the rest of the trial. This system gives you the chance to plan ahead and avoid the rooms with debuffs that could heavily impact on your character. You need to clear 6 rooms before you can face the trial's boss. There are a total 5 different types of trials that you can encounter in the rooms on your way to ascend to power. To make things easy, I will explain all 5 types here. The first one is the escape trial, where you will need to find and disable all the crystals in the room within a given time. Do note that any crystals still active once the timer expires will damage you. Again, this matters because if you get enough damage and you die, you will need to get a new coin and try again. The escape trial is considered to be the easiest of the trials by many if you have a good movement speed. Also, here is a good idea to not fire at enemies unless you have to, and that way you can save as much honor as possible. Next is the Chalice trial. The Chalice trial will require you to defeat all the rare monsters in the area to fill up the chalice. While this trial seems like you just need to kill enemies as you've been doing all game, this one is different because of the honor system, so be mindful of your hits. The third one is the Hourglass trial. This one is very cool. You need to activate a massive hourglass, and once it begins, you need to survive the waves of enemies until the timer expires. Killing rare monsters will reduce the timer, so if you are able to do this, you can finish this trial way faster than any other one. Fourth is the Gauntlet trial, where you need to find levers in order to progress through the room. There are some areas that are closed off, and the only way to open them is to activate the lever. However, in addition to enemies, there are various traps in the trial that can easily deplete your health unless you avoid them. The best word of advice here is do not rush, take your time, and move carefully across the room as you activate the levers. Last but not least is the Ritual trial, where there will be ritual casters that you need to defeat. Those casters are found by using portals in a room, and each portal has multiple casters. Tip number 5. Types of rewards and boons. Successfully clearing a room grants you rewards like keys to unlock treasure chests that you can use after you defeat the boss, and other valuable items to aid your journey. As you progress, you'll also earn powerful boons such as the Sekhemas cloak, which revives you upon death, so this gives you a second chance to continue the trial if this happens. Also, you can earn Sacred Water, which is an invaluable resource to the Jinn. Therefore, you can trade it, and it can grant you various benefits, including recovering honor, receiving extra boons, and cleansing harmful afflictions. And the last tip is regarding how to defeat the trial's boss. So at the end you will face Rattlecage the Earthbreaker. It's a massive and slow boss, but it hits very hard. You have a large room to move, so take advantage of it. Try to stay away as much as possible and be careful of its devastating attacks. Since this game is all about learning the mechanics, this makes it really hard because if you die, you'll need a new coin and try again. I hope this video at this part helps you because at least you'll be able to see what this boss can do. Once you complete all the challenges, you can enter the final room, where there are many chests that can be opened by the different types of keys that you collected. Of course, the best ones require a gold key, and the basic ones, so to say, use a bronze key. Once you get all your rewards, it's time to head to the altar of Ascendancy and claim your Ascendancy. Once you do that, you've taken the first step into the endgame, and you can use your first 2 Ascendancy points. This is the first step to both specializing your class and also to get very powerful. For me, I had to do this to defeat Yamanra the Abomination. So that's it for this video. I hope it makes sense. I love action RPG. I consider myself to be a good Diablo 4 player, but PoE 2 is a different beast. So it's been a slow learning curve for me, so I hope this information helps you. Please let me know what you think in the comments, and if you do choose to subscribe, I can thank you enough for it. This is a small but growing channel, and thanks to people like you, every day is better. I will see you in the next video. Happy grinding, GG's, and have fun.